Gulliver's Travels. Easy Intermediate English Story. The Shipwreck and the Tiny People. Lemuel Gulliver was born in England and studied medicine at Cambridge University. He became a doctor, married a kind woman named Mary, and had 2 children. Although he loved his family, he dreamed of traveling around the world and exploring new places. One day, Gulliver accepted a job as the doctor on a ship called the Antelope. The voyage began well, but after many weeks at sea, a terrible storm struck near Tasmania. Huge waves crashed against the ship, and powerful winds pushed it onto dangerous rocks. The ship broke apart, and many sailors drowned. Gulliver managed to swim through the rough sea for many hours until he finally reached a strange island. Exhausted, he fell asleep on the beach. When he woke up, he found that his arms, legs, and even his hair were tied to the ground. Tiny people, no taller than his thumb, were standing on his body. At first, they were frightened by the giant stranger and shot tiny arrows at him. However, they soon realized that Gulliver meant no harm. The tiny people lived in the kingdom of Lilliput. They gave Gulliver food and water and carried him to their capital city on a huge wooden cart built just for him. Although he was treated as a prisoner, Gulliver remained calm and respectful. He slowly learned the Lilliputian language and began talking with the king. Because Gulliver behaved kindly and honestly, the king started to trust him. Before long, the giant stranger became one of the most famous people in the tiny kingdom. Gulliver saves Lilliput. After proving that he was peaceful, Gulliver was finally given his freedom. He promised to obey the king's rules, protect the people, and help the kingdom whenever possible. As he explored Lilliput, Gulliver learned that the country faced 2 serious problems. First, people argued about politics. Some supported the high heels, while others supported the low heels. Second, Lilliput had been fighting a long war with the nearby island of Blefuscu. Surprisingly, the war had started because people disagreed about the correct way to break open a boiled egg. Some believed it should be opened from the big end, while others insisted on the small end. Over the years, this small disagreement had turned into a dangerous war. The king asked Gulliver for help. Using giant hooks and strong ropes, Gulliver crossed the sea and secretly captured most of Blefuscu's warships. He pulled the entire fleet back to Lilliput, preventing an invasion. The people celebrated him as a great hero. The king rewarded Gulliver with honor and praised his courage. However, the king wanted even more. He ordered Gulliver to capture the rest of Blefuscu's ships and make the neighboring country completely powerless. Gulliver refused. He believed that both countries deserved to live in peace and freedom. He did not want to help one nation rule another. Although his decision disappointed the king, Gulliver remained true to his beliefs. He chose kindness and justice instead of power. The escape from Lilliput. After Gulliver refused to destroy Blefuscu completely, the king secretly became angry with him. Some jealous officials also began spreading false stories, saying that Gulliver was dangerous and could no longer be trusted. Even though Gulliver had saved the kingdom, rescued the royal palace from a fire, and helped bring peace between the 2 countries, his enemies wanted to punish him. One loyal friend secretly warned Gulliver about the king's new plan. Instead of thanking him, the king planned to blind him by shooting arrows into his eyes. After that, Gulliver would remain alive but spend the rest of his life serving the kingdom as a helpless giant. Gulliver was shocked. He realized that staying in Lilliput would no longer be safe. Soon afterward, the king of Blefuscu invited Gulliver to visit his island. With permission, Gulliver crossed the sea and received a warm welcome from the people of Blefuscu. While exploring the island, Gulliver discovered an abandoned boat floating in the ocean. He carefully repaired it using wood, rope, and cloth. The people of Blefuscu gladly helped him prepare for his long journey home. Before leaving, Gulliver thanked the king and the people for their kindness. He sailed away alone, hoping to see his family again. After many days at sea, an English ship found him and rescued him. Gulliver finally returned home to England. His family was overjoyed to see him again, and he shared the incredible story of the tiny people of Lilliput. Although his adventure had been filled with danger, it taught him unforgettable lessons about courage, wisdom, justice, and human nature. The end.